We are in the season of the separation, the divide of the righteous and the non-righteous. I see the Father in the Spirit making a distinction between the two. And I keep hearing the words set apart. And when you think of set apart, dictionary says to separate something and keep it for a special purpose. Being set apart is not blending in. If you are among a group of people, behaving, living, and doing as they are doing, then you are not exhibiting the characteristics, or you are not set apart. You're just behaving like the world. There's no distinct difference in you and the world. The Bible says in Jeremiah 1:5, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. The Father has selected individuals that he has set apart for a purpose. And these individuals, no matter where they have gone in their lives, what they have done, there has always been something in them that has set them apart from the masses, from the world. There's always been something in them that kept bringing them back to where they were chosen to be. No matter what, their purpose in him will be fulfilled. So now that we're at this point in time, you are seeing the set apart come forward. And you are starting to see the separation in his body. You see, the set apart are not going to be like the world. It says in John 15:19, if you were of the world would love you as it is its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. The set apart is not liked. You're different. You don't go with the crowd. You don't move as the crowd does. You know the saying that says, when in Rome, you do as the Romans do? I often wondered, I was like, who came up with that? Well, think about it. Spiritually, we're in Rome. Rome has told us when to do this and when to do that. Rome has even told us when we're supposed to worship. I worship 365 days a year. You don't get to tell me when my Sabbath day is. I worship whenever I want to worship. Rome tells us when to have holidays and just forget all about the holy days. So the set apart, we don't join in with Rome. We're different. We don't go with the world. And we're looked at as peculiar. Like there's something strange about those people. Yes, there is. That's what being set apart is. If you go into a room full of people, if you blend in with whatever they are doing, nothing makes you different than the world. If you're kicking it up, smoking and drinking, what makes you set apart from the rest? That's not to say that you can't hang around with the people, but if you throwing them back like they are, what makes you set apart? What makes you different. You see, because they love you when you're doing what they're doing. But the moment you step out and say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. At my job, every Friday, they're like, hey, you know, you want to come out and go to the bars? You want to go to happy hour? I said, I am going to happy hour. I'm going home. What do you mean? You don't go out? You don't? No. I have no interest in doing that. It's a natural thing for me not to want to engage. It's just in me. It's just natural. I'm not trying to be better than anyone else. It's just natural for me to exhibit a characteristic of holiness. 1 Peter 1:15-16 says, but as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct, since it is written, you shall be holy, for I am holy. Being set apart means you exhibit the characteristics of your Father. You walk in the ways of your Christ. So yes, you are peculiar. You are different. You don't do as they do in Rome. You walk in holiness. And the world is not going to like you. But you want to know something? You are pleasing the Father. And as long as I know that I am pleasing the Father, I don't care how the world feels about me. You all who are set apart, keep shining that light, because one day they're going to come to your light. Y'all take care. Be blessed. May heaven continue to smile upon you. Bye now.